going on, everybody? I want to talk to you about living a simple life. I've always wanted to live a very, very simple life, no distractions. I wanted to always be able to think clearly, to be able to enjoy nature, to take in nature, to process what is going on around me instead of constantly working on something, never being able to stop and pause and to reflect and to actually take things in. It doesn't matter how much money you make, what job you have, your status, how popular you are. Unless you're able to really sit down with yourself and meditate, take things in at a deeper level, nothing else matters. You have to be able to do that. That destroys the meaning of life. That's the purpose, is to experience meaning, whatever purpose that is. To take deep breaths, to actually be able to experience what you have in front of you instead of just trying to get as much as possible, instead of just trying to get as much done in a certain amount of time, always trying to race the clock, trying to get places. When you're able to be at peace and to take everything in and really just be at peace with yourself, have inner peace, it's the most beautiful thing. This is what so many people in this society have been unable to do. And my spiritual journey really kicked off about 4 years ago. Pretty much exactly. It was the fall of 2016. I was in college, and at every chance I got, I just wanted to be in nature. There was this garden I would go to. I loved taking walks, looking at all the trees, taking in all the trees, enjoying the blue sky, enjoying the sunlight, taking all these things in. And life just constantly throws distractions at you. And I want, my whole mission is to get away from that as much as possible, live as simple of a life as I can. It's good to have goals and aspirations. However, you need time to pause, to reflect, to meditate, and that's what I noticed when I was at college. Everybody was running around, and I remember the classes I was taking, I didn't like them. They weren't really, helping me in any way. They created unnecessary stress, took me out of my natural rhythm, natural circadian rhythm, which we're all supposed to be operating at. And that's what a lot of things do. There's an airplane above me right now. It's making noise to distract me from what I'm trying to do at the moment. There's so many, see the distractions? That's all the society is. Distractions and more distractions. The whole purpose is to be at peace with yourself. That's what we all should seek. Just to take deep breaths, which is what I'm doing right now. And it's okay to be more quiet at times, to do more listening instead of speaking, to really gain clarity and understanding of what is going on in your environment, to be aware and have your values in the right places. People value money and material possessions, popularity, shoes, clothes, all these things over inner peace, relationships, meaningful relationships with others, feelings of pure bliss and joy. This entire construct needs to end. This whole idea of you have to, get as much money as possible. You have to go to school to get this job to look good. You have to be this high in status or else you're a failure. That's completely false. It's completely false. It's important to connect with nature. That should be the priority in life, to learn how to plant your own food, to live a natural life, to connect with the planet, connect with the stars, be in tune with your circadian rhythm. So many things take us off of that circadian rhythm I've talked about. Microwaves, all these radio waves, cell towers, 5G. they all have their purpose, but they throw off your natural rhythm because people are exposed to it all the time. They don't take the time to get on that 432 hertz, which is the natural frequency of the planet. Once you're able to do that, you're at inner peace. All these lights, these artificial lights, take us off of that as well. I've never felt better when I can just be in a space where I'm alone and where I am in a state of meditation, where I'm able to process the environment around me, and I'm able to just to seriously be at peace. This is what we need to be prioritizing. So many people are busy. They're working 12 hours a day to try to make as much money as they can, and they never have time for themselves. And they're, on top of that, they are consuming processed foods. They are drinking plenty of coffee, which is throwing off their natural heartbeat. They are doing other things which are taking them off the rhythm, like being on their phones, looking at these fake lights, breathing in heavy metals. You have to be concerned with Ayurvedic medicine, which is about mind, body, and spirit, which is what will provide you with peace, prosperity. The more you give, the more you receive. And we're taught in this society that we should just be focused on self-service and just making as much money as possible and getting the most stuff as possible. It's not about getting the most stuff. It's about having the highest quality of life as you possibly can. I'm blessed to have this wisdom to share, because I feel like I constantly am learning new things, and it's my responsibility to share that. So share this with others also. It just keeps going, because we all absolutely need to be meditating. We all absolutely need to have balance in our lives, to have the correct posture. A lot of these jobs also that take us off of our normal posture. See, people are like crunched over, like sitting at their desks. They're sitting down the entire day. They're not they don't even have a chance to exercising. Then they eat junk food, sodas, and then when they're stressed, they do drugs. They smoke cigarettes. They drink alcohol, and on top of that, when they're very sick, they have to go to the doctor, and the money that they make from busting their ass off for 12 hours a day, they spend on pharmaceutical drugs, antibiotics. Yeah, antibiotics. And you know what antibiotics do is they kill the natural life inside of you. So pretty much everything that this society values and everything that it focuses on is about being a dead entity, slave away, work 12 hours a day, eat processed shit, smoke cigarettes, drink alcohol, worship these false celebrities who, you know, they're not the people who are really teaching any kind of wisdom. It's everything about it's backwards, and I've been saying this for the longest time. So I'm breathing right now, taking deep breaths, because grounding yourself is the most important thing. Connecting with the natural elements, we have to understand what we're doing. It's one thing to have motivation to do something, to gain certain things in your life, but it's all pointless unless you're able to dissect that information and understand how it's useful. Like, what is this doing for me? All right, if I make this decision, why? Like, how is it going to affect me? We always need to be thinking before we act. Before we do anything, we have to understand, what is this going to be doing for the long term? And this has been a very powerful journey for me. It's had its struggles, because when I started this in 2016, it was like it was like something that's hard to explain, where it's a beautiful feeling, but you know that there's a world of heaviness and struggles, but you're balancing yourself between two different worlds, having to get through the matrix of, you know, this artificial grid which has been constructed, and also, you know, connecting with the natural elements. And every opportunity I got, I went for the natural elements of And this is how society should be constructed, and it's shifting to that, because it can no longer support a system which is doing a lot of damage to people, to the planet. It is destroying the trees, it is destroying our lungs, everything about life. It's anti-life. This is the anti-life matrix, anti-life society. Does not value the well-being of the planet and the individuals. So I believe that more people are waking up to this. It's important to understand. And, you know, this is how I've been for a long time. It's about a simple life. It's just simple things like going on a bike ride, which I'm doing right here. Got a bike. And just riding over here, over there, all around the neighborhood. And connecting with your environment, building up the environment around you. Like, ask yourself, how can you, instead of trying to fix the entire world, focus on your local neighborhood, your neighbors, your environment. How can you do something to benefit that? Very, very simple things. You know, trust me. There's power in numbers. When you're able to connect on a small radius, that grows and it grows, and that will lead to the best outcome. And like I said, there are times where you just need to pause. There are times where you need to pause and to reflect, understand what it is that you are getting yourself involved with. Understand your priorities, your values. Are they in the right place? Because the society's values have not been. And there are times where I just become very silent, even during these videos, because I'm taking deep breaths. This is the one thing that I saw coming 4 years ago. I wasn't able to connect with many people who had the same mindset, and I was able to see the problems right in front of me. People can't slow down. They're rushed to get nowhere at all, and it does not lead to their well-being. It's like they're trying to accomplish something which will produce nothing for them. It's a very serious thing. Go outside and ground yourself. Go barefoot in the grass, barefoot on the pavement. Go sit under a tree. Go, you know, look at all the nuts that fall off a tree. Go look at, take those all in. It's about connecting with nature, because no one's been taught this stuff. To the entire educational system at a mainstream level does not even touch on this stuff. That's why it's a joke. Like, we got pine nuts over here. I mean, look at this. So you got this falling out of a tree. People aren't focusing on that. They don't understand what is actually allowing us to flourish and be our best selves. And it's something to really consider, because there's nature doesn't just produce things for no reason. Every single thing has a reason, and the less you try to figure things out, the more you'll come to the discoveries when you're able to be still. because it's not something you're going to figure out by, you know, constant research, constant like information, because nature, you are nature in itself. It's about being still and coming to that discovery. So I want to thank you all for listening to this. We absolutely must respect nature. We must focus on our environments. This is what I'm doing, and I'm very passionate about it. We have to think about the activities we're doing, the people we're around. We have to ask ourselves what they're doing. Everything should be done with a purpose. Everything should be done to build ourselves up, to build the planet up. We should be creating all the time. There's always something to be creating. So keep on creating, and you know, we're able to create best when we're at that still place, when we're able to meditate, we're able to reflect and ponder, to get into that kind of mindset, connecting with nature, which is what very, very, very few people have been doing. You don't see many people outside doing this stuff. I mean, just go outside and look for yourself. Maybe you'll find there are a few who are, so just keep going out and you'll find the right people. But you know, when you focus on yourself, the right people will come.